Chris from Hot Tech Tips here with a 30-foot LED light strip. Let's see, open the bag here. Packaging on this was a little rough, so if you do get this from Amazon, just don't cut open the bag too quickly, because you'll see bag rip top and bottom. The manufacturer could work on that. But this is a 30-foot strip. The LEDs are spread out a little further than on some other LED light strips. But again, it's 30 foot, so different application than most. This is going to be pretty awesome for haunting, just so you can light up a whole scene with one strip instead of multiple strips. It does come with a pretty beefy power supply, 5 amp, 12 volt. And they also go into the manual to show you about different adapters, controllers, things like that. And here's just a little card on the power supply, it looks like. We'll take out the goods here. The Amazon package as well. So included we have the standard LED controller remote. We've all seen these before. We have some DIY patterns, so it's a little different. Pull out the battery tab here. Here is the RGB control box, infrared remote input. You'll see the little infrared dongle right there. So your power goes in here, it goes out to your LED strip there. Standard IEC power cable. Transformer, which is 24 volt output at 3000 milliamps. So it's actually a 3 amp 24 volt power supply. Input 2.7 amps. That is substantial for LEDs, but again it says 30 foot, so let's plug this in. Very snug fit there. Not a bad thing, just different tolerances than normal, but I like snug over loose. I'll plug this into an outlet over here. Tiny little arc when I plug that in, nothing bad though. There is a rubber band in the bag, not sure why. And here are the LEDs. Says here, strip should not be collided or crushed. It can be cut with the following lines. Must not exceed 5 meters. Let's see. Cannot be fixed on sharp edges. Must be smooth, clean, and dry when you install it. Pretty basic. And here we go. So that's interesting already that it has male plugs on both ends. It looks like these are removable though. And they are. Not exactly glued together there, but that's alright. So you could extend these, although do the math on it. I would have to check in the manual to see how many you can connect in a series. Again, you have your RGB wires plus your positive or negative return. Not sure which, I'll have to check on this one. There we go, yeah, DC 24 volt positive is the white wire. And very clearly labeled where you can cut these. Looks like the joints are all within the tape. There are a couple solder joints here and there. So the LEDs are spaced out a little more than on other tapes, but again you get 30 foot here as opposed to the typical 5 or 6 or 10 foot. We'll plug this into the controller. There is an arrow on the controller, so I'm going to match the arrow on the controller wire with the arrow on the module. Doesn't snug up quite perfectly, but it'll get the job done. And plugging into power. Alright, it is nice and bright. Look closely here, the entire strip appears to be illuminating, so no issues in continuity here. This is not the 3M very high bond tape. It just says LED behind it. Looks like just a standard double-sided sticky tape, but feels like it'll do, especially since this is a nice thin, feels like a vinyl possibly, or just a well-coated paper. It's hard to say which. Here we go with the remote. the eye. So it should be brightness up and down. Sometimes that does speed. I'm not seeing any response there at all. Play, pause. Okay, so pause works. See if the brightness button does anything now. Nothing just yet. I'll hit play again. Power button does work. Red, green, blue, white. That's decent. How about orange? Different orange. Yellow. So the color reproduction on these are pretty decent. Yeah, it's not quite the purple I'd expect, but all in all, the color reproduction is decent. Again, it's just RGB mixing, so it's not going to be perfect, but it does follow the remote pretty closely. We'll see what other options we have here. So I'll hit DIY 1. There's an up and a down. It's not doing anything just yet. Let me change up to red, quick, slow, brightness. So in single color modes, the brightness does work. If I put it to auto, we'll see what we get. And then quick and slow does work. Whoa, that's spastic. Flash. So it picks a color and flashes it. If I change quick and slow, it changes flash frequency. So you can actually get a strobe effect out of these. That's kind of cool. If I change brightness, no change there. But that's a little different, getting a strobe effect out of an LED strip. See how fast we can go. That's about the fastest we can go. If we slow it down though, you can get some neat effects with the room going bright or dark. So that's pretty unique. Fades, let's see, we have... the number system here doesn't make full sense. DIY 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, jump 3, jump 7, jump, fade 3, fade 7. So we'll see. So there's your fade 7. There's your fade 3. Jump 7. Jump 1. Or jump 3. So those don't make perfect sense. We'll refer to the manual here for a little bit more on that though. So far I'm liking these lights. With the distance, you can do a lot with lighting larger areas with these. So pretty straightforward here. Just saying what it is, that you can cut it. Obviously, it's a compatible power adapter. You need that 24 volt. So for your trail haunters, you can't just put this to a car battery because you need 24 volts, obviously. Unless you were to adapt that. Connecting instructions, very straightforward. So they actually show you two different remote controls here. So there's a more basic remote which was not included, the 24 key. Looks like we have the 44 key. So DIY 1 through 6 can save 6 DIY colors automatically and separately steps. Press DIY 1, long press the arrow key to increase or decrease the red, green, and blue light. So you can make your own colors through color mixing and save it. So that's kind of cool. And dynamic mode, auto light changes automatically in 5 modes. So it's basically demo mode, which goes through the jumps, fades, flashes. Jump 3, 3 colors change in jump mode. Jump 7, 7 colors change in jump mode. Flashlight flashes, obviously saw that. Fade 3, fade 5. So pretty neat. You can set your own custom colors. So we'll do that now. We'll press the DIY 1. So right now that's white. I will reduce the... Actually, I'll add red. Yeah, it might already be on. I'll take out the blue, or the green, sorry. Okay, so I'm slowly but surely seeing a change. So this is actually very, very fine tuning, so that's kind of cool. That's a neat color. And you can set the color through long pressing 6 keys with up and down arrow. So you don't have to tap and hold, you can just press and hold, it looks like. Another key is press while you're setting the color. It will change to the function of the key you press. So if I hit flash, it changes that function, but then if I hit DIY1 again, I go back to that color. So that's kind of neat if you want to set the LEDs to a custom white color that might not be in here, or if you have per se different scenes and an actor to use this, but that would be a little advanced, a little tricky. So I would just say kind of set it, forget it sort of thing. Check and see here. If we disconnect power, do we return to where we were? And we do return to the same pattern we were on before power was disconnected. So there we go. This is a nice 30-foot LED strip. It actually produces some heat. There is some substantial heat in there. But the individual diodes are not warm at all. It's just the collection of LEDs there. So definitely, if you're going to do anything with these, take them off the spool before you run it for too long. You can actually see how the LEDs on the spool line up, so the heat's just building up between the diodes. I believe there was a note on the listing to remove it from the spool before use. Obviously, I'm not going to spool out 30 foot of LEDs just to do a demo video. But this is pretty cool, good for larger area lighting. Again, if you have this directly facing somewhere, it's going to be spaced out a little more. Just keep that in mind. Just like any LED strip lights, it's one color at a time for the whole strip. Of course, there are more advanced lights out there, but again, this is not super expensive, so you're only going to get a single color at a time. Check below in the description for a link to the product. And as always, the manufacturer, they have various different things here. They have dimmers, they have much larger 30 amp power supplies, although I don't know why they're advertising a 12 volt power supply for 24 volt LEDs. That's a little odd. Let's see, RGB amplifier. So you can add this can amplify the control signal, make them work more stably. So long story short, this is replacing this little box because I'm sure this can only handle so much current. Yeah, 6 amps max. And it looks like this is a 3 amp power supply. So you're probably using about 3 amps. You probably put 2 strings on this controller. And of course they have a YouTube channel with their video instructions as well. They have email, they have a direct phone number. So overall this is a decent product. I like it. I will be using it in a scene. I'm not sure exactly where yet. Possibly a mausoleum inside to light a creature that's going to come out. We'll see how that goes. There'll definitely be video. And a 12-month and 30-day money-back guarantee warranty. So for haunters, you know you can get 2 seasons out of this if you buy it in October. So that's not bad. That's somewhat rare for products like this. So hope this helps.